Shut up, Smarks. Ring Ross Redux. No, I won't tap out. I won't tap out. All of you bastards suck. Just stop watching Raw. Stop watching Raw. Now part of the Club Kayfabe creative community. So, if you're following me on Facebook and or Twitter and or Google Plus and or LinkedIn, actually, getting some good use out of my LinkedIn profile, posting wrestling stuff to it. Radio Shrug? I mean, there's one other guy, at least one of the guys I'm following, who actually is posting wrestling stuff to his LinkedIn profile. WrestleDelphia. Well, I'm guessing he's in Philadelphia. But anyway, enough on that. So we got 2 shows to pre-preview this week. One show rather interesting because it's actually spread over 4 shows, 3 or 4 shows, and they're televised shows actually. And the other one is a pay-per-view / WWE Network live event, whatever you want to call it. So let's get to Ultima Lucha Trace first off. So that's going to be happening this coming week on Thursday, I believe is the day that Lucha Underground airs. And Ultima Lucha Trace is actually a special set of episodes of Lucha Underground on El Rey. And kind of a little bit hard to explain, I think. It's just sort of special episodes, sort of like how Impact Wrestling / Global Force Wrestling went from having a pay-per-view once a month to having 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year, and then the shows that previously were pay-per-views are now just special episodes of Impact, which is actually preferable. But so once a year, Lucha Underground does a special set of 3 or 4 episodes of Lucha of that show, and it's called Ultima Lucha. So it's basically taped over however many days, and it's broadcast over 3 or 4 weeks. So the only thing is, for some strange reason, Lucha Underground doesn't seem to like posting the match cards for Ultima Luchas. So I got spoilers. I'm not going to give you the spoilers, but I mean, I'll tell you who is in the match, right? This is what I'm going to do. I'll tell you who's in the match. So we have the Mac taking on the Rabbit Tribe, PJ Black, Ricky Mandel, Joey Ryan, Argentis, I don't know, Vinny Mercero, Mascarita Sagrada, Son of Madness, and Pinella and Carlota in a battle royal. For, it doesn't say what for, it's just maybe a battle royal, I don't know, for something. For the right to say, hey, this is a battle royal. Enjoy watching this battle royal. I can't really say who I think is going to win, because that's going to give away who's going to win, because I'm going to say who's is scheduled to win the match with spoilers. So I'm just going to say what the matches are. So I can't really do anything. I can just tell you what the matches are. I can't say who I want to win, who I would like to see win, who, you know, it's not a tremendously huge amount of story, I don't think, going into this one. It's just a bunch of people who have interlacing storylines, I guess, and it's probably going to help set up other storylines down the road. If you'll remember, 2 months ago in that Battle Royal at Ultima Lucha Trace, Son of Madness kicked Pimpinella Escarra in the face or something. I don't know. Whatever they grasp onto for a storyline idea. Hey, that's great. He flicked that other guy in the ear. That's going to make for a good match later down the road. So, that kind of thing, I don't know. So, looking forward to seeing it. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. And the next match we have here is Ivelisse taking on Katrina. Be interesting to see these two ladies getting in the ring. I don't think, has Katrina wrestled in Lucha Underground? She was Maxine in NXT, in the original incarnation of NXT when it was sort of kind of a training thing, and then they started using storylines and then stuff like that, but I don't know. The Club Kayfabe Creative Community, bringing together creative people from all walks of life and giving them a platform to show off their talents. Podcasters, artists, cosplayers, authors. Check out all the information about the Club Kayfabe Creative Community at ckcconline.com. So next up, we have a mask versus hair match, which sees Phoenix taking on Marty the Moth. So it could be, and it's going to be a hell of a thing to watch, I'm sure. Marty the Moth has been extremely jealous of Phoenix's attentions for Melissa Santos. So we'll see how that plays out, I guess. You are listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. And Pentagon Dark will be taking on Son of Havoc in a ladder match for the Gift of the Gods Championship. And it's a very interesting idea, isn't it? The Gift of the Gods Championship. So, you know, it's an actual belt, and to qualify for the belt, you need to win a match, or you get a medallion. And then when all the medallions are earned, you attach the medallions to this belt, and then you compete in a match with all the people who won those medallions for the belt. And I guess they're defending the belt as if it's a regular belt in this match. So I imagine the question mark that just appeared over my head. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. And that used to be a WWF pay-per-view. Anyway, this is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You are listening to Ring Rust. So the last three matches we have, apparently, for Ultima Lucha Trace episode. It's still going to be a 1 hour episode, right? They're going to put 7 matches in a 1 hour episode. I don't know. I'm not sure how this is going to... maybe what they'll do. How many is it? They have it dated for 2 days. Okay, so probably what's going to happen is these are the 2 days they taped it on, and then they're going to edit it and put it out in whatever order. So from the first day of taping, then I'm going to clue up the first day of taping, and then I'll probably do results, such as they are, for just, because I'm sure they'll start posting them on the Wikipedia page once they actually air. Because that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good for wrestling to have something from Wikipedia, not have spoilers on it. Because I don't know how many times I've gone to look at a say like Slammiversary or Bound for Glory or whatever episode of Impact, and the results are right there because it was pre-taped. You know, everything Global Force Wrestling / Impact Wrestling does is pre-taped. So, which is not a bad thing. It's just not all wrestling can be live. So, anyway, wonder if it would be preferable if they were live. I don't know if they'd be doing better if they were live. Anyway, so the last 3 matches we have from the first day of tapings sees Dr. Wagner, Dr. Wagner, I guess. Dr. Wagner Jr. and Famous B taking on Tejano Jr. in a handicap match, which I'm sure will be quite handy capable of entertaining me. See what I did. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. Aerostar will be taking on Kevin Cross in a dark match, so it's not even going to air. It's going to be like the first thing. I don't even know what they're going to do with that. And finally, from that first day of taping, Killshot will be taking on Dante Fox in a Hell of War match. So I guess that's sort of like Extreme Rules or something along those lines. So looking forward to watching the coming episodes of however many episodes they spread it out to. So do they actually have 7 per taping? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So They have 15 matches altogether, so they can do it in 3 to 4 episodes, depending on how many matches they want to squeeze into each episode and how long the matches go. So it's still really weird, though, that you don't get the cards for... Well, I guess they had decided, until, I don't know. I guess Lucha Underground themselves had to put out what the actual match cards are. So, I don't know. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV.
Akujin, pure electricity in my pants.
Oh, my.
That's it. The healing rays of the sun in his pants.
So maybe, I guess, if CM Punk were to team with, I don't know, I Am Pusher, that would be their theme song. This is Fatboy Mark Jabroni. You were listening to Ring Rust, now a part of the Club Kayfabe creative community. So, what I'm going to do now, it's on to the No Mercy pre-preview on the WWE Network from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. So we got 7 matches. I'm going to take them in more or less the order they have here on the Wikipedia page, although I'm going to break up, like, I'm going to do 2 championship matches, then one of those singles matches, and then 2, and so, like that. So, anyway, not going to quite add up properly, but still. First one I'm going to start with is The Miz defending his Intercontinental Championship against Jason Jordan, who won the opportunity to challenge The Miz for that championship. A failed 4-way match. So, with Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Elias, and Jason Jordan. But, yes, it did become a 6-pack because the Miz Taraj were added to it. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel were added to it. So that's made it the 6-pack challenge. So I don't know. And Jason Jordan came out on top of that one, so he has the opportunity to challenge The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. And given that it's his first time challenging for the title, you know how I am if you listen to my show any regular length of time, I more or less always pick that the champion will defend their title, because 9 chances out of 10 the champion does. It's just playing it safe, I guess. I don't know. So, we'll see how that plays out. Maybe eventually, over a span of 2 or 3 pay-per-views maybe, or maybe, like they seem to like doing in WWE, the Raw after No Mercy will be where he wins the title in some sort of rematch. So, well, maybe it'll come to a disqualification or something. He'll win by disqualification, and then the Miz Raws will get banned from ringside in a future match, and you know how it all plays out. And eventually he'll win the title, or he won't win the title, or he'll get this one shot, and then that's that. So I just don't anticipate Jason Jordan winning it just yet. We'll see how it plays out, though. But for the time being, I'm going to predict that The Miz is going to defend his title because he's
awesome!
It's that time of year again. Time to get in your votes for the Ring Rust year-end Top 50 Countdown, where I run down my favorite and your favorite wrestling-related songs and wrestling-ancient themes from 50 all the way to number 1. Just like CHMR's Ring Rust on Facebook, and post your vote in the appropriate thread. Check it out on the last Friday of this year and the first Friday of next year. Titanium. And the Macho Man once sued the Houghton Mifflin textbook company when it became apparent that their account of the War of 1812 was plagiarized from his autobiography. Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @Jabroni, and subscribe to Jabronology TV, youtube.com/fanboymarkjabroni. Chrissy Hemme is to congratulate, I guess. Well, at this end of it anyway, I'm congratulating her. I'll be feeling real sorry for her as the time goes on over the next 9 to 10 months, as she's currently pregnant with quadruplets. Well, presumably she and her husband were just trying really hard to get pregnant, and they used all kinds of, what do they call it? Not fertilizer, certainly. That would be hilarious. Honey, go get the fertilizer. You want to have another baby. It's not quite how it works, dear. Fertilization drugs, I'm sure, is what they were using. They were using a little bit too much of it, and then they just got lucky, and then they realized how unlucky they might end up being. But oh well. Hey, who knows? They may get a reality show out of it. So, this is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You are listening to Ring Rust, now part of the Club Kayfabe creative community. So next up, we have the Fatal 5-Way match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship, which sees Alexa Bliss defending her title against Sasha Banks, Bayley, who just returned on Raw this week, Nia Jax, and Emma. So, once again, defending champion. She seems to be good at, she's quite effective at eking out wins. So, I'm going to predict Alexa Bliss is going to win the match, because the other four are probably going to be too busy wrestling, trying to knock each other out. She's going to swoop in and pin somebody, most likely. That's probably how it's going to end. She's going to swoop in after, we'll say, just to pick two names, we'll say after Bayley nails the belly-to-Bayley suplex onto Emma. She'll come in, she'll like DDT or something Bayley, or throw her out of the ring or whatever, and then she'll cover Emma for the win. So, just to retain her title. Just a hypothetical, because that's the kind of thing that happens in wrestling. So she's just really spiteful about stuff like that, though. She's just going to go in and she's going to defend her title, and she's going to pull however many handfuls of tights she has to pull to secure that win.
Boom. Snappy-vous dans les Slim Jim. Oh, oui. Funny-filled rectal passage.
Hey, what's up? This is referee Tony S., and you're listening to Ring Rust on CHMR.
Now part of the Club Kayfabe creative community. So next up, for No Mercy, and the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. Weren't they just there for SummerSlam? Oh well. So next up, for the WWE Network live event, sees Neville defending his Cruiserweight Championship against Enzo Amore. More than likely that will be on the pre-show, but it's not listed as being part of the pre-show, so maybe it hasn't been officially announced as part of the pre-show, but it's kind of expected. Now, once more, two reasons why I expect Neville to defend his title. One, I just naturally go for defending champions, saying, well, they're probably going to defend their title. And two, Enzo Amore is challenging for the title for the first time. Generally speaking, historically, challengers don't win the titles when they first vie for them. So that's just my opinion. I'm more than happy to be proven wrong. I'm a big fan of Enzo Amore. So we'll see how that plays out. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. Now a part of the Club Kayfabe creative community. So back to the No Mercy review. pre-per-view, as I like to call it, because I'm previewing a pay-per-view, so it's a pre-per-view. So next up, we have the Tag Team Championships, which sees, I don't remember what I called them. I like naming tag teams, so I don't remember what I called them in the first place, but right now I guess I'll call them Architect Fringe, because Lunatic Fringe and the Architect. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose taking on The Bar, which is not what I called them. I called them International Powers. Sheamus and Cesaro, but what can you do? They decided, hey, our tag team is now going to have a tag team name, because lost art. So, anyway, I do predict, though, surprise, surprise, that Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins will defend their titles just for the time being anyway. I'm sure Sheamus and Cesaro will get them back at some point, but for right now, successful title defense. Because I think I'm just a little crazy, much like Dean Ambrose. You are listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. So, shows what you know. This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You are listening to Ring Rust, now part of the Club Kayfabe creative community. The way Vince McMahon, with stars in his eyes, probably sees it, will have, not in the main event, the Universal Championship, Brock Lesnar defending against Braun Strowman. It's Brock Lesnar, and though it's Braun Strowman, but Brock Lesnar is probably going to defend his title, at least for the time being. The first real challenger, I think, first biggest challenger anyway, for the title in quite a while. So it'll be rather smacktastic, I'm sure. They may or may not reinforce the ring again. Who knows? Probably not. Brock Lesnar's not quite as big as the Big Show. But anyway. Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkJabroni. And subscribe to Jabronology TV, youtube.com/fanboymarkjabroni. And in what Vince McMahon may or may not consider the main event, John Cena versus Roman Reigns. And, yeah. So, if you tie them chest to chest, and then throw them at a wrestling mat, and then connect them up to a generator, you'll get infinite power, because neither of them will let their shoulders hit the mat. Says the butthurt tossed-by internet wrestling fans of the world. But, on the other hand, I do anticipate, since Roman Reigns is the younger star, and John Cena, when it comes right down to it, doesn't seem to mind actually helping younger stars, I don't anticipate there being much of a problem here. It's probably going to be a good back and forth match with lots of punches and kicks thrown and whatnot, and Roman Reigns ultimately coming out on top of it. That's it for another show, kiddies. Check me out on Facebook, where you can keep track of all the news that's right on the mark, from around ringside to the latest concerts. See you at the shows. Later days.
This is 93.5 CHMR FM.